everybody, it's Miss Shaw again. Today we are going to make something called your own candy. If you've been in my class, I gave you some of this at Christmas time. I have a certain teacher that I work with in our school that loves this. Somebody else makes it, but she kind of wants to do it. So I'm going to kind of do a shout out. Her name is Miss Satter. Hi, Miss Satter. Yes, I am making your favorite thing. I call it Christmas candy, but you know it as something else. Miss Grimshaw makes this. So today I'm actually going to be doing this. I do not believe I'll be doing it in real time, but I do want to show you and my students and all of you guys how to make this, okay? So the first thing you need is the recipe. This time I am actually going to be using a recipe. This is my handwriting, okay? But I haven't, this is like the better copy of it, okay? So the first thing is you got to find out what the ingredients are. So the first thing is we need a sleeve of salt. Oh, I want to make sure my stuff doesn't fall on the floor. A sleeve of saltine crackers, okay? We need, oh, I forgot, 2 sticks of butter. Hold on one second, guys. Let me go get it. Gotta pause this. I'm back. Phew! I have my butter. 2 sticks of this, so it's about half of the box. Okay. 1 cup of brown sugar. Got the brown sugar. And 12 ounces of chocolate chips. Now, yes, these are the chocolate chips you get at the store. 12 ounces is usually in a bag. This one comes in 11.5. It's fine. Okay, so 1 bag of chocolate chips. I like doing milk chocolate. If you like white chocolate, dark chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate, whatever you like, go for it, okay? But you will need one of these, okay? Now, something that I'm not going to be doing that's part of this recipe, and it's usually towards the end. At the end, they say, put these on top of it and let it melt. It doesn't work. So, I'm going to show you, or at least for me, it didn't work. Miss Grimshaw, if you're watching this and it worked for you, I need to ask you how you did it. For me, I'm going to actually be doing something else. I'm going to be melting the chocolate. Now, the way you melt this is you can do it 3 ways. The way I'm going to do it, I'm going to show you, is I have a chocolate melting pot, okay? You can also use an electronic fondue pot, okay? So this I have at my house, and I'm going to use that to melt this, okay? You can do something on the stove called a double boil method. Kids, if you don't know what double boil method is, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to kind of show you what you're going to use, okay? Oops, I didn't pause it. So guys, the double boil method is you use 2 pots. These are 2 similar pots. They do not go in all the way, as you can tell, okay? 1 pot on the bottom has the water that you're going to put in. The second pot right here will have the chocolate that you put on top. You stick this on the stove, okay, and you turn it up and it melts the chocolate in here so it doesn't get to a high temperature, okay? So that's kind of like my way of doing the double boil method. I'm not going to use that. That's right here. You can also go into the microwave, if you have a microwave, and melt the chocolate that way. Like put it on for 30 seconds, take it out, stir it, put it in for 30 seconds, take it out, stir it, put it back in for 30 seconds until it's fully melted. And then you have to immediately pour it on top of here. But I'll be doing that a little later, okay? So this may be a little long. I am going to pause it periodically, okay? And when I do, I will tell you I'm going to be pausing it. Okay, so they say preheat the oven to 375. My oven is on my right side, probably your left side by when you see this. Put it to 375. I'm going to do that right here because it's kind of a little easier because I have My oven and my stove are separate. Some people have it together, like the stove and the oven are right here. Not in my house. In my mother's house that I was at, that's how it comes about. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your pan. I'll put these to the side. Put them away. Don't you dare fall. You know, I'm going to put these pans away and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so we're going to take one sleeve and we're going to line the pan. Now, they say aluminum foil. I don't like aluminum foil. I use parchment paper. But if you don't have parchment paper, will I do that? It's okay to use aluminum foil, okay? So, make sure your parchment paper kind of fits in here. Mine laps over a little bit, which is fine. Okay? Now when I put my parchment paper in, I see. Sometimes I might have to do it this way, but today I'm going to do it widthwise. Okay? Kind of put it in. It's okay if it laps to the side. Not a big deal. I usually take my nail and just kind of like make a crease in it so it's easier for me. Okay? So as you can see, my pan is lapped over. Or excuse me, my paper is lapped over the pan. Okay? I'm taking my saltine crackers and I am going to put them on. But before I finish up with that, I'm going to take my chocolate. This takes some time to melt as well. And really making this doesn't take that long at all. I have a little, this is on a table, so it's my chef's table I have. I got it when from a neighbor because I lived in my own house before I moved back. A little history of me. This where I am right now was the house I grew up in. Okay, there we go. When I was in my late 20s, I'm going to go back to lining the pan. Make sure the saltines are like next to each other, okay? And take your time, okay? Because we're not going to really be boiling anything quite yet, okay? If you have somebody else in the house, you can have them do the saltines. You can have them face up, face down, just flat, okay? Now back to my story. I grew up in this house. In my late 20s, I bought the house next door. I mortgaged it. And after my parents, then my mom moved out of the house to take care of her parents. My dad stayed because he wanted to keep an eye on me. Yeah, like I'd get in trouble. You never know. He just felt comfortable being here just because my grandmother had Alzheimer's. So this October actually, maybe late September, early October, I'm going to be doing the Alzheimer's walk to raise funds for the Alzheimer's Association, because Alzheimer's has hit my family. It has hit some of my neighbors, some of my friends as well. It has actually hit me too. My father has early stages of dementia. Some days he has good days, and some days, not so good days. A couple of years ago, my mom had back surgery, and she had it actually up in Syracuse, but this house really wasn't right for her to recover because it was 2 stories, and with having back surgery, you're kind of in pain. And it was a little tough for her. So we went home. We went back to Penyan to her house. I took time off from work to take care of her. Well, 2 days after we returned back to her house, it was my grandparents' house, her parents' house. My father wasn't feeling too well, and there was some signs of that as well. And he went into the hospital, and due to something called C. diff. It is an infection of the bowels and stuff, and it's very contagious, and they wanted to send him home. I told him, no, you can't do that because of my mom. Well, anyways, he only came home for 10 hours out of the total time, and he hasn't returned, and he lost the ability to walk, and he doesn't really participate due to the demand. So he is now in a nursing home. Unfortunately, due to this COVID, let me turn this up. Due to the COVID-19, we can't go see him. So yesterday I sent out a care package after I returned home of his 2 favorite magazines. He gets a subscription. It is sent to my mom, who then is supposed to go up and deliver it to him. But because of the quarantine where he is at, he cannot have any visitors. So we do talk to him. Luckily, we are able to call him. And he asked that he wanted some stuff, so I mailed him a care package. Okay? Now, let's get back to this, okay? You are going... my thing fell. Okay. So, we're preheating the oven. We've lined the pans. We put all of this together. Now, in a large saucepan, this is kind of large for what we're going to be doing. You are going to combine the butter and brown sugar and bring it to a boil. So, you can measure this out ahead of time, so it's easier. A lot of people don't. Like right now, I don't. In another video, I did for time. And it says, how much brown sugar? I should just leave it on the computer. 1 cup. Okay, got it. Better be a cup. Yep, okay. So 1 cup of brown sugar. Now the brown sugar is not hard, so it's kind of easy. Okay, well that's not quite my full cup. That's a cup. Yeah, sometimes I don't follow it exactly, but hey. Next, your butter. Now, if you do this a lot, you learn the recipes. Then you learn kind of what a cup is and stuff. Like about how much brown sugar you're to have, how much butter. Usually it's 2 sticks, so if you remember 2 sticks, it's easy. If you don't have butter, I believe you can do it with margarine. I've never done that. Okay. And it says to medium-high heat. Now, for students, medium heat is about a 5. High heat, no, medium is like the halfway point. Mine goes from low to high, but the next one is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, thinking of your math, half is like we're going to divide by 2. So half of 8 is what? If you said 4, you're correct. So we put it on medium. So it says medium to high heat. Turn it up to about a 5 or 6. Like you can do it 1 notch to another notch. Oh, there's some paper in there. I don't want paper. I just saw that. Sometimes you catch stuff that you didn't think. So, okay. Have your spoon out, and we're going to stir. I'm going to pause this until we get it melted. Now, guys, stay with the pan while you are cooking it. Oh, I close that. Okay? When it's boiled, that means when it gets into the liquid form, when it's starting to form bubbles, that's boiling. Okay? At that time, you're going to pour it. So, I'm going to pause this, and then we'll come back. It shouldn't be too long, but I'm going to pause it. Okay, I am almost done with it. Took a couple of minutes. I turned it down a little bit because, yes, it was boiling some, but the butter did not melt. And because I want you to see what I'm going to do. Okay? So, now I continue stirring this, excuse me. I get tongue-tied a lot, so I do apologize. So once this is all in pot, melted, and ready to go, this is what it should look like. Hopefully you can see it. Probably you can't. I'll try my best so you can see it. Okay. I think you can see it. Okay. Okay. Butter. And all it is butter and brown sugar, okay? That's all it really is. Oh, and it's boiling too. So now, you see I'm still stirring it. Whoops. Oh, this didn't get so good. I gotta bring this back. Okay, don't use a plastic spoon. Use a wooden spoon, guys. Or a metal one. Because this got out of whack. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to pour it over so it's evenly on here, okay? Now sometimes like I say, grab a wooden spoon. I didn't get it. Okay. Now, the reason I said wooden is because I found out that plastic kind of melted a little bit. I was able to get it back to kind of its normal stuff. So they're not, my plastics are not that expensive. They're like dollar store ones, so I'm not worried too much about it. But if you have a wooden spoon, I will say that's the best spoons to use, okay? Okay. Try to get all of this there. Now, because it's melted, it's kind of like... Okay. Now, the preheated oven is already on, and it's ready to go, and I will show you my oven. And then I'm going to pause. Okay, so this is my oven. Be careful because this bottom is hot. I'm going to put it on the top because in science, heat rises. You're going to turn the timer for 5 minutes. It's on 5 minutes. And you're going to leave it in there. Now, if you haven't melted your chocolate, go ahead and start doing that. My chocolate's starting to get melted. Okay, so hopefully by the time that this exits, my chocolate will be done, okay? So I'm going to pause this, and then when buzzer goes off, I'll take it out, and hopefully the chocolate will be melted, okay? See you in a bit. Okay, guess what? It is all done. I am going to now take it out. Whoops, I forgot. I should have just left it right there. So I'm all done. Let's take it out. Turn off the timer. Turn off the baking thing. Now, why? Ooh. in the oven for 5 minutes so that it gets into the saltine crackers, okay? Now I'm going to let it cool for a little bit because when the next thing I'm going to do is my chocolate chips that you saw go in there is now chocolate. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. Let this cool for a little bit. Take that little sugar off. Nice coffee. And that is how you make toffee. Okay. Now, so I'm now just going to just pour it on. Because it's still hot, you know. Okay. And take as much chocolate off as I can. Spread it around. Now, the reason I found that this works best is because when they said, "Oh, put the chips on top and then spread it," I'm like, yeah, didn't work for me. Okay, oops, sorry. Let me get this to you. So I just found, you know what? Let's just do our own thing. So I found that this works better. If I'm getting it in front of you, I'm sorry about that. The reason being is I'm trying to get as much chocolate on here. This is still hot, so you can't really eat anything until it's like cooled down. They say put it in the fridge for an hour. I don't think I'm going to be doing that. Maybe I might. Who knows? So I'm just kind of, now I'm using a spatula because I find that works better than the spoon. And I'm just learning this now. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I lick my spoons. Let's also, I'm going to take the chocolate and try to get as much out as I can. And I can still spread it, so I have a lot of control on getting it taken care of. If I need to move some chocolate away, like if there's a lot, I can do that. So my spatula does. Okay. Okay. Now, you may ask me, why did I use parchment paper? The recipe did call for aluminum foil. I guess because I didn't want metal in my mouth if it got stuck on here. And paper is kind of like wood, fiber. Okay. I just prefer it better. I'm trying my best not to. I guess I can hold the bottom. So it's taking a little bit longer to do this, but I wanted to just show you. Okay? Just take your time on it, okay? I cannot hold it. It's kind of warm still. But this is your candy. Similar to what they call, I'm not going to say, okay? So put it in the refrigerator for an hour and then you can break it off and it becomes your, you can give it as a gift or eat it later. So take care, everybody. Hope you're having a good time and enjoy cooking. Bye.